consumed a lot of toxic advice over the past 5 years concerning relationship topics, everything down from Sprinkle Sprinkle to Kevin Samuels, everything in the book. And here's what I've learned from all of that advice. Welcome back to my channel. It is Quenisha Ken and Will. Today I am talking about a topic that most people don't want to discuss. Most people don't want to discuss how these relationship topics and subjects and how they interact with your own thoughts, how they shape your own thoughts, how you think that you're not taking in something when really you are, and you're doing it unconsciously. So, one of the things that I really want to dive deep into, let me just back up for a second. When we talk about relationships, I wanted to really learn about relationships because I have a past where my mother was a single parent. My dad, he was in my life, but as in not in the household. So there's a lot of things that I didn't learn growing up. And there's a lot of stuff that I had to teach myself. There's different things that I had to go through in order to get to where I am now and the woman that I am and I'm showing up as in a relationship. But these are things that I had to work on within myself. A lot of the times we don't realize how everything is a cycle. This is why it's important to know your history, to know your family history, to know where you come from, because you're always dealing with something that was already embedded in your psyche. The odds are already stacked against you. And though some people have it easier to find relationships, this is why you have to believe in the spiritual realm, because a lot of times we're here to teach certain people lessons. Some people are karmic, some people might be your soulmate, but you have to be able to have the discernment to see what type of person do I have in my life right now. Where am I on my relationship journey? How can I get to my next level within that? And sometimes you may go through heartbreaks, you may go through bad experiences, and this is those pivotal moments that you have to alchemize and turn that into that pain point into something where you funnel it into something greater. And that's where I think most people get stuck, because we get stuck in the period of this person hurt me and this person did this to me and this person. If you stop for a second and you take a second to think, okay, no, I did have some communication issues. I do deal with control issues. I do deal with this. I do deal with that. And where does that come from? Who taught you that? Let's unlearn these things. And once we start looking at it from that perspective, and not saying that you have to constantly fix yourself, that's not what I'm saying, but you also have to be able to take accountability for how you show up in relationships, because it's not always the other person. Guess what? If you've been in relationship after relationship and somebody is constantly telling you that you're the problem, it might be time. Come here, it might be time to go look in the mirror. It might be time to actually say, okay, how am I showing up in this situation? Is it that, I'm doing something to trigger this person, or, and if that person is triggered, it's their job to figure that out and why they're being triggered, for sure. But you also need to look at self. How am I showing up in this relationship? What have I learned from my past relationships? Have the same things been happening to me over and over again? If so, now it is a pattern. Now we recognize that as a pattern. Now we figure out the plan, we get strategic, and we figure out how we're going to change it. That's what happened to me. Things were going the same way over and over again, and I got tired and I wanted answers. My answers may look different from somebody else's answers. So when we get into these spaces now where we're looking at this relationship content, we want it to be a one size fits all. We want it to be something where it's like, okay, this person is giving this advice, I'm gonna apply this. This person is giving this. But I'm telling you, I've read so many relationship books and I've watched so much relationship content that at some point I made mistakes along the way. I had to learn from those things, because everything also is not about playing games. And that's where we get it twisted. People don't want to be manipulated, but you being a manipulator. Come on, let's talk about it. You can't be out here playing tit for tat, but then once the tit for tat happened to you, now you're crying wolf. Now you're the victim. So these are the things that we have to really, really hone in on and think about it before you out here just nilly-willy taking advice. And I'm not saying that all advice is bad, because guess what? The advice that I've gotten and I've applied is what got me to the level that I am at now within relationships. I can be in a healthy relationship now. Years ago, I couldn't be in a healthy relationship because I didn't know what that looked like. And it had to take trial and error for me to go through that. It's just kind of like this YouTube thing, right? Once you start going, you're going to have failures. You're going to want to give up. You're going to not see progress. You're going to have these experiences. These experiences are unavoidable, but people want to try to avoid these situations. And it does not work like that. It does not work like that. There's a lady who had a video. She talked about how she wasn't married until she was like 37, 38, and how all of those relationships led her to the very moment that she was at. So she probably was giving up at some point. It was like, okay, I done tried this, I done tried that, and I tried. Everybody is not going to get married when they 20. Everybody is not going to get married when they 30. Some people get married when they 40. Some people get married when they 50. But guess what? When you get there, just know that you've arrived on time. You've arrived on time, okay? Because a lot of times we want something that's not for us. That's what happened in my last relationship. Yes, he was a great guy. So many amazing qualities, but I knew in my spirit, deep down in my spirit, the way that I was feeling every day, and I'm still recovering. The way that I was feeling every day, waking up, not feeling like myself, not being able to do certain things. I cannot be drained and live a life where someone does not want to experience life with me. I want a life partner where I get to experience certain things in life. And if someone does not have the same vision as me, guess what? We're not in alignment. And there's more to the story. But if I would have clinged on to that relationship and this is as good as it's going to get, and he has all the money in the world and he has this and he has that, okay, but what about what do you have? Do you want to walk away with your peace of mind? Do you want to wake up every day and be happy? Do you want to wake up knowing that this relationship was a great decision that I made and we're in alignment and our values align and what we believe in and those things go together? Because if you waking up every day and all you worried about is your bills paid and you in a certain space and you continue to level up and that person does not grow with you, someday you're going to outgrow them and you're going to start believing something. Your beliefs are going to change and you're going to you're going to want to be a different version of yourself. You're going to want to explore something else because once again, you chose in a state where you was in survival mode. Let me say that again. You chose in a survival mode state. So you wasn't fully living in your abundance and living in your self-actualization and wanting to love and wanting to understand and know somebody deeper on a deeper level. Do you know? I watched what was this show called? I watched The Ultimatum. The Ultimatum on Netflix. And I forgot the couple's name. I think her name starts with a Z, but the guy with the braids that everybody was talking about, I don't remember the couple name. Either way it goes, they were together for 2 years. They were together for 2 years and she didn't know not one deep question about this man. She didn't even know about his childhood. And you mean to tell me that you've wasted 2 years of your time and you have an attachment? That wasn't love, that was an attachment. So many people out here are living in attachments and it's not love. You don't want that for yourself. You don't want to be attached to somebody because they have something that you believe that you cannot have. The kingdom is within you. The kingdom is within you. And so sometimes you have to take a step back to say, what is it that I really want? Is the things that I'm watching aligning with what I want in life? Is this the type of relationship that I want? Does this fit to be the kind of person that I aspire to be? And if it's telling you to play games and do all of this stuff, that's, if you want to indulge in that, you indulge in that. But best believe the energy that you put out is going to be the energy that you receive back. And I think that's where people get it twisted, because energy is energy. And when you put in bad juju out there, guess what? Most people who put bad juju out there get bad juju back. And they may not get it in the moment, but it's going to catch up with them. But we also have to understand, once again, this content is not a one size fits all. You have to observe your own situation, where you are at that moment, and see, how can I grow from where I am? You have to look at where you are right now. And it's not realistic. Everybody is not going to get somebody who has millions and trillions of dollars. It's not realistic. You might come across somebody, realize that you possibly could have those things just with a regular guy, and you both come together. You both have the idea that, hey, one day I want to be a stay-at-home mom. One day this is my vision. Let's talk about what the vision is for our future. Okay, how do we get there? Do we have to combine finances? Do we have to start a business? What do we have to do? Do we have to learn financial literacy? Do we have to learn these things so we can grow as a couple and we can reach our goals together? This sounds so much better. This sounds so much better. But it's just one of those things where, once again, you have to be willing to have the hard conversations. And when you come from a certain background, and this is specifically to my followers, because I don't know who's watching this video, but I talk about coming from low income, dysfunctional backgrounds, all this type of stuff. When you're coming from that type of background, certain things you just don't know how to ask. Certain things you don't know, you just figuring it out as you go. It's like on the fly. And that's fine. But soon you'll gain the wisdom to understand what it is that you really want in life. And I think once you stay true to who you are, stay true to your core. If you don't believe certain things, don't be out here trying certain things. I'm telling you, don't be out here trying it. And maybe if you do try it, then you learn your lesson and you move forward, if you do decide to. So yes, that's my little spiel for today. And I love talking about relationships. Maybe we can get back on this topic again. Y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are. Have y'all taken bad advice and ruined a relationship based off of what you heard on the internet? Because there's a lot of people out here doing it, and I'm gonna get back on that topic later on. I want y'all to let me know y'all thoughts, y'all opinions. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I appreciate you all for just being here, rocking with me, and hopefully I can give some advice to those who need it. Relationships are not easy. It's not an easy task, because you're learning how to intertwine and, fit your life into somebody else's life. And sometimes that's not easy to do. And yes, leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching Quenisha Ken and Will, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.